Okay everyone, I'm going to do a review on my trimmer, the fs38. I've had it for about a year and a half now. I bought it last year in July, and I have half a season on it last year and almost a full season on it this year, and I'm going to do a review on it. Like all the other reviews, I'll start with what I like and then end with what I don't like. And so we'll get right in. Well, what I like about it is, probably the biggest thing is the weight. Because it's a curved shaft, it's really light. I believe it only weighs like 9 pounds empty. With gas in line, that's probably closer to 10, maybe a bit above. But it is real light. I know some of the Echoes or the Stihls, the higher end models, they can get really heavy. I like dry weights at 13, fully filled up with gas and string. That could be 15 pounds, maybe not that much, but significantly more. And a couple pounds doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're carrying it around all day, it makes a big difference. So that's what I like most about it, is it's super light. Second is probably the balance. It is perfectly balanced right at the handle, which is good. It's not front heavy, so it doesn't hurt my back, but it's not also back heavy, so that it doesn't hurt my arm from holding it on there. So it's fairly neutrally balanced. As you get less gas, it becomes a little front heavy, but you can't really change that fact. So the balance is good. And then another thing that I like is the price point. It's not super expensive. I believe it's only $160, and it is like the lowest model, but it really works just fine. Now, fuel efficiency, it kind of varies. Yesterday I was mowing. I posted the video on what a day of mowing's like, and I used about a 1/4 gallon of mixed gas in this. I believe I used about 3, maybe 4 tanks of gas. I can't exactly remember. And the tank holds about 11 ounces. So I probably used 3.5 tanks, so close to about a 1/4 gallon there. And I could go after one big yard, the gas level would be like right here, and so I'd have to fill it up because I wouldn't have enough left to go. So like 3/4 of a tank on a yard, on a big yard. On a small yard, I probably use about half. So I can get like 1 or 2 yards done on a tank of gas, which I think is decent. It doesn't take that long to refill, but it certainly isn't the best fuel economy. I'm sure some get better, but it's decent. Though another thing that I like is this handle. It can be really easily operated with one finger and my thumb. I don't really like the Echo handles. They just seem too bulky, and you need to use 2 fingers on them. This one, it's real easy to just use one there, and it feels really good. It's not super stiff, but it also isn't not stiff enough where if just a little bit will go right to full throttle. And this little safety stop is nice and wide. It's not, the Husqvarna ones are really thin, and it just feels a little awkward. Like, this feels very comfortable, and there's plenty of room on the handle to move back and forth. It's not, your hand isn't jammed up. And I don't know if this is intentional, but when I'm trimming, I kind of put my arm right here to kind of stabilize it, and it just so happens that there's a vent here, so the air from the flywheel will kind of blow up through here, which will keep my arm from getting hot, because the muffler is right there. Like, my elbow will be right there. It's probably not an intended feature, but it's a good feature, because sometimes this plastic can get kind of hot. And this, so it keeps my elbow cool. And the pull cord's pretty good too. not easy start, but it's fairly easy to pull over, not too difficult. I'm genuinely not a fan of the easy start. I just feel like it binds up too much. So I like that it has just a normal, regular pull start. Now I'll get to the things that I don't necessarily like. And one of those things is the original head that comes on this unit. It's one of the old style heads that you have to, yeah, if I can get it out here, you have to, you know, oh, I'm struggling. But you have to take this out manually, unload it, then put it back in, and that just takes a lot of time. Even if you get good at it, it still takes time to do that. And you know, sometimes this head to get this cap back on, it was a real doozy sometimes, because you have to flip it upside down because the nut in there goes down, and it got kind of annoying. So I swapped that head out, and I got an old school C5-2 head, which is kind of the speed feed style head for this. Stihl doesn't make this head anymore, but I got it on Amazon. That's like a knockoff. But on this one, you just put the two ends of the line in here, and then you wind it up here. You don't have to take it apart. You only have to take it apart to remove the old line if it didn't come out, but that doesn't take long at all. And then this screws on a lot easier than this old school one, and I can reload line a lot faster. And I think it might also hold more line too. It has a good capacity in there. And then one other thing I like is that, maybe you can see here, but if this is on here like that, you know, that this is a bit lower than this, because this bottom part, it sticks out a little further. So I can just rest this on the ground here, because, you know, that line comes out there, while that one comes out a little bit higher. So I don't scalp the lawn by just having this rest on the ground. It cuts it at like perfect height. So it takes some of the skill out of it, which, you know, isn't really a big deal, but it's easier to use, which I like. So, you know, I guess it's better on that head. I don't really like that stock head as much, so that's why I swapped it out. And then another thing that isn't a big deal, but it's not the best, is it doesn't have the most power. It has enough power, but definitely not as much as some of the other ones. I take the guard off, yeah, and there's plenty of reasons why I do. I'll let you, you know, not everyone wants to, and that's okay, you don't have to. But I can run the line longer, and I can see what I'm doing better. And even with the line out, it has plenty of power to pull it. But once you start hitting some thick grass, it does bog. I wouldn't use this for, you know, brush hogging or anything. It just doesn't have the power for that. But for weekly residential lawns that are well maintained, it will do just fine, and you'll have plenty of power to spare. Now, I'm gonna go over the things I've done to this. As you know, I take the guard off, put another head on there. Another thing I put on here is extra line. I think this is very important, because if you run out of line in the middle of a job, you don't want to have to walk back to the truck and get it. So I keep my line on me. I have this little clip here that I clip to the handle, and then I can put my line on there when that's good. And that's about it. I guess I'll go over some technical things. The air filter is easy to change. If you're someone that likes ease of maintenance, that's easy to get at. It's just behind this little cover here. Close this up. Now, I've never had to change this spark plug, but this does look like it could be a little bit difficult to get at, because they got this plastic piece here This wire looks like it might be a bit difficult to take off. Never had to do that, but you know, it could be a bit difficult if you don't know what you're doing exactly. Other than that, I think it's really good. I like it a lot. If you're someone that doesn't have a ton of a budget and are only doing like weekly lawns, hey, I think this is a good option. Some may not like it because it's a curved shaft. I don't really mind it. It seems just fine. But if you want a straight shaft, then go with a straight shaft. Anyway, that's my review on the fs38. Oh, here's one more thing. It has a manual choke. So you might have noticed, you know, on the blower video, it has an automatic choke. When you hit the trigger, turns the choke off, but this doesn't. You have to, when it starts, you have to turn the choke off. Some may find that is an issue, but I don't. It really doesn't matter. I mean, it's quick. Bloop, once it turns on. Takes 1 second. Anyway, that's my review on this trimmer. I'd give it a 4.5 out of 5. I really like it. Again, the only things I don't like is it doesn't have a ton of power, but it has enough. And then another thing I would do is probably make the gas tank a little bit bigger, and then get rid of that crappy head. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. And that's my review on the Stihl fs38 string trimmer. Thanks for watching.